Part 5. Visuals. Number 43. Better weather effects. Or really, just different weather in general. When playing through Fallout 3 or New Vegas, the weather report seems to forecast a bright, partially cloudy day every day for the rest of time. In fact, the only time I've ever seen different weather is in the DLC, like in Honest Hearts. After watching gameplay footage from next-generation games like Destiny, I'm convinced that Fallout is due for an upgrade in this department. The new weather effects wouldn't just have to be for cosmetic purposes either. It could also affect the gameplay. For example, time spent out in the rain could increase the need to repair weapons, and strong winds that kick up lots of dust could affect your perception and endurance. Number 44. Have weapons and armor show more signs of wear and tear. Fallout already has this going with how a gun will not reload properly if it drops below 50% maintenance, but I'd like to see more cosmetic damage appear on weapons and guns as well. Scratches, dust, old blood, anything that can show signs of true wear and tear. Number 45. Have more chances where the player can dramatically change the landscape. If Fallout has shown one thing, is that one person can completely change the course of history. When you make a truce between the Kings and the NCR, we can see the change of politics as NCR troops and members of the Kings are living side by side. And while changing the political landscape is good, even more impressive is changing the actual geography of an area. Turning the lively town of Megaton into a smoking crater shows just how much of an impact we can have on the world. Literally. Sorry. Number 46. More eye-catching landmarks. When I play a game for the first time, be it Fallout or whatever, I usually don't like to stray off the main course. I just want to do the main story and maybe do all the extra quests on my next playthrough. But the first time I played New Vegas, I strayed from that path. I knew the game was telling me to go to Nipton, but when I saw the statue of the Ranger and the NCR Trooper, I couldn't help myself. I had to see what was over that horizon. Keep giving us more of these landmarks that make the Fallout wasteland truly one of a kind. Number 47. Do better than just ragdoll physics. Not all enemies do a barrel roll when they die. Give us cool deaths outside the kill cam mode. I'm also up for more gruesome deaths, like in Fallout 2. Some of these are already in the game, like the ability to disintegrate enemies with laser weapons and watch them turn to a pile of ashes. But what I would really like to see are those brutal deaths like with a burst shot of a minigun. It would be an amazing thing to see if we can combine the real-time combat with these over-the-top kill animations. Number 48. Tighter animation on scripted sequences. I know this only happens a few times during the modern Fallout games, but it's still an issue I would like to see addressed. One example that comes to mind is your first encounter with the Van Graffs at the Silver Rush. As soon as you enter the store, you see a confrontation between the siblings and one of their associates. Since you can't get past the guards and can't fight, you're stuck there. And since the game has your vision focused squarely on this conversation, we as the player understand that this is important, and we should pay attention. Since so much control is taken away from us, it's imperative that these interactions go smoothly, which it does. Almost. When it becomes apparent that their business partner isn't going to play ball, Gloria tells Jean-Baptiste to execute one of them. And this is where my gripe comes in. There is a pause between when Gloria says the words "do it" and when Jean-Baptiste fires his gun. In a scene like this that's meant to be cinematic and intense, there cannot be that pause. I know it's only a second, but that second takes us out of the moment and reminds us, oh, now the game program is telling the Jean-Baptiste character to raise his gun, turn in this direction, and fire at this predetermined spot to trigger the NPC's death animation. The whole thing has to be as fluid as the game engine will allow. Another thing that sticks out is when the King is being told that the NCR is attacking. Again, everything goes right about progressing the story, and that's about as far as we get. I have yet to have a playthrough where the gang member that delivers the message doesn't run through a chair or table, or the camera has to turn slowly to pan to the side so we get a shot of the messenger and the King both in the same frame. For a game series that is mostly non-scripted, those scripted sequences have to run as smooth as silk. Number 49. Better attention to third-person view. I know this isn't really at the top of anyone's list, as most of us play the Fallout games in first person, but I think we are missing out on a lot of the design that we give our characters and our surroundings. There are a few things I would like to see fixed. I would like to see different animations for when we go up different elevations. Having our character's feet be level while walking up a 45-degree incline just doesn't work. I would like to see more chances for us to see our characters' faces outside of kill cam shots. We spend so much time designing our character, and without those kill cams, we may forget what they look like. I'd also like to see an option where if we were aiming, we can just dip right into first person view. Once we're done attacking, we can jump back out to third person. Number 50. Better focus on showing emotion through character. I have to give credit to Egoraptor for this one. In the first episode of their Sonic 06 playthrough on Game Grumps, he was talking with JonTron about dialogue in Fallout. He says he plays the games with the subtitles turned off, so he only listens to the character's dialogue. He likes it this way because he can read much faster than the characters can deliver their lines. I couldn't agree more. I'm a pretty fast reader, and I'll often just read what the character is going to say and input my response before the NPC has even finished their lines. I've tried a few times to play without subtitles, and it just doesn't work for me. If I don't have the words to read, all I have left are the lines being read by the voice actor and the character's animations. And to be fair, the voice acting has been pretty consistent for Fallout, especially from its higher profile voice actors. When it comes to other NPCs, sometimes the voices do falter. But even the best talent can't hide the fact that the facial animations simply do not complement the voice acting. Sometimes their faces don't show enough emotion, the voice doesn't fit the character, or their body language is at odds with what they're saying. I know there are hundreds of characters in Fallout with thousands of lines of dialogue to read, but things like this really do add to creating a deeper emotional story. Number 51. Give us a new graphics engine. Yes, all the suggestions in this video have been leading to this. It's really that simple. I want better graphics in the next Fallout game. I know as a hardcore gamer I should be all about the gameplay. It doesn't matter if it's next gen or retro 8-bit style, if the gameplay is there, that should be all that matters. Gameplay, gameplay, gameplay. And while I do hold gameplay in high regard, I hold graphics in equal standing. It's one of those things that distinguishes video games from any other form of media. Fallout certainly hasn't been a slouch when it comes to cool design choices. It's one of the most iconic series I can think of. But the engine has become outdated, and I think it's time for something new. And so, I put forth a challenge. I want the next Fallout game's graphics to set the benchmark that other games will try to achieve.